take anything to heart. You know, I know the kid, he respects me at the end of the day, and he knows that I know boxing. So, you know, let's talk about the plus minus, man. Let's talk about the fact that how extremely hard it is to hit this guy.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, Timothy Bradley, two-time two-division world champion and Hall of Famer, and colorful analyst for ESPN and Top Rank, superstar boxer. Tim Bradley responds to Shakur Stevenson, and he says that Shakur Stevenson, who has been on a tear and on a rampage since his fight last Saturday against our team Haritanian, that wasn't the most crowd-pleasing performance, but it was entertaining for hardcore boxing fans like myself. But for the casuals and to be a crossover and to sell a fight, it wasn't crowd-pleasing, and actually the crowd started leaving in about the 10th round, and they exited the fight because they just simply wasn't entertained. They just wasn't. And so Shakur Stevenson has been on a tear, an absolute tear, and going at everybody for criticizing his performance. And one guy in particular, Timothy Bradley, and he said, Timothy Bradley, milk dud head self, I'm paraphrasing, only had 12 knockouts his entire career, and he's just hating at this point. And Timothy Bradley's responding, and let's listen to what Timothy Bradley had to say. He said, Shakur Stevenson has to strengthen up mentally if he's going to beat the likes of a Gervonta Tank Davis, who is 30 wins, no loss, no draw, 28 wins by way of knockout. Tank Davis is a southpaw, but he can box. He's elusive. He's athletic. He's explosive. He's the total package, and he's durable. And Shakur Stevenson, he's just not willing to engage. Okay, he's elusive. He can counterpunch, but he didn't let his hands go much, right? And I got a video coming about that because even Terrence Crawford and Andre Ward, after the fight, they told him you wasn't jabbing your way in and you wasn't letting your hands go. You was aggressive with your body language and your foot placement, but not with your hands. You wasn't letting your hands go. So Timothy Bradley says, if you're going to beat the likes of Tank Davis, you're going to have to let your hands go. But there's a pattern here. We're starting to see a pattern. When you fight in power punches, you simply don't want to engage and you're not letting your hands go. You're reluctant to let your hands go. When he fought against Nakatilia, you know, he wasn't letting his hands go. That was a power puncher. When he fought against Edwin De Los Santos, he didn't let his hands go. Another explosive power puncher who was a southpaw. But in this case, he said he hurt his left hand. So we expected him to be more aggressive in the next fight, and he didn't do that. So let's listen to Tim Bradley. What do you have to say?
That's brilliant, bro. Like, that is brilliant, whether you look at it or not, whether you like it or not.
So Tim Bradley is saying Shakur's defense is brilliant. His hit and not get hit ratio, that's the sweet science, is brilliant. But that's not all to it.
You know, where he can hit you and you can't hit him, and he's directly in front of you. You know, that's something to be said. That's something to talk about. But as far as Shakur and where he goes from here,
and shouts out to Fight Hype for this interview. You can see the interview in its totality on Fight Hype.
Be curious to see. Be curious to see where he's going to end up. Going at the media, people in the media, from celebrities on. He's trying to create this villain role now, and he's trying to.
What did I tell y'all? I said Shakur wants to be the villain. He's trying to make himself the villain, like Floyd Mayweather did, and that sells tickets because people pay to see you lose.
Use it as not only fuel, but also to get more eyeballs watching him, create more hate, and put himself in a situation to where many people believe he'll lose, and then he ends up winning, and he'll look like, you know, he'll look like the hero. Let's talk about that. So I look at fighter styles and what they bring. I study film.
And that's what I said. I said that if Shakur signs with Floyd Mayweather, and Floyd Mayweather's at odds with Gervonta Tank Davis, his longtime CEO of Mayweather Promotions, Leonard Ellaby, who was his partner for 25 years, he fired Floyd Mayweather, that is, and now he's with Gervonta Tank Davis. Floyd wants to sign Shakur Stevenson. He's making himself the villain like Floyd. The storyline is enormous. So if he goes in there and quote unquote slays the dragon and beat Gervonta Tank Davis, well, that would speak volumes for his career and his legacy. So I agree. I've been telling y'all that.
I see what affects that a guy like Shakur can give Tank. Whether you say Tank loses the first 4 rounds purposely or not, he can be outboxed. That's just it. Okay.
I've been telling y'all that as well. Hence the reason why I've been picking Shakur to beat Tank this entire time is because his ability to stay focused on defense and be elusive and counterpunch. He's bigger than Tank. He's 5'8" with a 68-inch arm reach. He has an arm reach advantage of 2 inches. He has a 3-inch height advantage over Tank Davis. He's a southpaw as well. And he's mentally strong and staying disciplined with his defense. And that's what's going to take to beat Gervonta Tank Davis, because you can outbox Tank Davis, but people don't have the wherewithal. They don't have the ring IQ to stay disciplined for 12 rounds. And Tank puts a lot of mental and physical pressure on you with his foot placement, with his aggressive stance, and his combination punches and his choice of punches. He's very, very lethargic and very, very strategic with his punch choices, and his output is very, very low. So you can outbox him because he don't get flustered. He's not going to get, to the point where he's panicking and start making mistakes. But he's going to fight at a slow pace where you can outbox him.
Tank has done recently what Shakur has done recently in his last 2 fights.
Because let's be real, Shakur ain't going to knock out Tank Davis.
Lackluster performances. You gotta look at those. You gotta look at the two. Now you can look at the styles. Yeah, Shakur's style can give Tank fits, but